hackers, and in this video what I'm going to be doing is talking to you about some of the problems that have been going on for WordPress and for those of us who have WordPress blogs. WordPress is a software program that originally was created to make blogs, but today it has so many uses that you can use it for sales letters, for a standard website, you can use it for a blog, you can use it for a membership site, you can use it for delivering products, and a number of different things. So there's a lot of WordPress sites out there. Most of those sites have been installed using Fantastico, and it's one of the easiest ways of doing it, because if you use the manual approach, you have to databases and a number of different other things. So by using Fantastico, in about 20 seconds you've got a WordPress blog on your website. Now recently there's become a rash of attacks by hackers against website being run on WordPress, and part of what they're doing is they know that Fantastico, when it installs a WordPress program on your website, it uses the first thing it does is it puts in admin for the user. You actually have to be proactive and change that when you're installing the WordPress. And most people just don't do that. They just put in they put in their email if it's not correct, and then put in the name of the website and that type of thing, and then push and so there's a lot of WordPress websites out in the world that use admin for their username. Now, the hacker knows, number one, that admin is probably a hot user, and so a good start for any user. Now, for a hacker to get into your website, your WordPress website, they have to know the username and the password. Now, if they already know that you chances are using admin for the user, then they only have to guess your password. And you'll find that because we're all creatures of habit, we have a tendency to focus on a password that we can easily remember, and oftentimes it's what everybody else uses. So the hackers will put in I think they must have a program that figures out the normal passwords that people use, and then beyond that they also can use words and a number of other things to search to see if you have that. So the first defense, obviously, is to be able to change that admin to something else. Now, I'm not going to cover that in this video. I'll cover that in a later video. But that is your first defense, is get rid of all of those that say admin for your user. Pick something else. The next step is, what you want to realize is that these hackers, they're attacking your website, your WordPress website, and they're flooding it with information. So if you've gone to maybe work on your blog and you find that everything is moving very slowly, then you've got a possibility that someone is attacking your blog and using up the bandwidth of your for your website. And because of that, what happens is everything starts to slow down. So the next step which you want to do is limit those attacks themselves, those hack attacks. And so in another video, I will also show you how to limit those attacks. And then one of the things I found, because what I do is, with my limit of the attacks to my website, what I have found is that most of the hackers are looking for hanging fruit. So what they're doing is they're saying, okay, I'll put in admin and then guess a bunch of passwords, and if you've done something to protect your site, then chances are site. I actually had one hacker who became obsessed with getting into my website. And so I was locking him out periodically, and I shouldn't say him because it could be a her too, but chances are, well, I'm not going to say, but any rate, they're obsessed with coming up with, they actually went through 3 different attacks using 3 different usernames, only one of which was admin. So that person became much more difficult. So I'll show you a technique that I used to slow down their attacks to see if I could maybe get them move on to someplace else. Truthfully, most hackers are not focused on you as an individual. They're interested in just hacking sites, and so they're not going to spend a lot of time on your site if you've made it more difficult. In this one situation, the person appears to be determined to get into my site. So I'll show you a technique that you can use to maybe protect yourself from that type of attack, or not necessarily protect yourself, but make it more difficult for them. And with that is the steps that I have found to protect yourself from hack attacks on the website, on the WordPress websites. And in my future videos, I'll actually show you details on how to do that. You can get more tips like this from bchambers.com.